Hail.
Madison, I'm surprised to see you here. What can I do for you?
Don't talk down to me, Lions. I had nowhere else to turn. You must help us. Project Purity has been overrun.
Yes, I'd heard reports of an incident there. What details can you give us?
The Enclave. They've attacked Project Purity. James is dead. There may be more, I don't know. You have to do something.
Then it's as we feared. Madison, I'm sorry this happened. I wish we could have done something.
Then do something now. They've taken over the purifier. Lions, they cannot be permitted to have control over it. It's not right.
No. Calm down. You know as well as I do that the purifier doesn't work. It's useless to them. Perhaps it's time to walk away.
That's not true. James, he found what's been missing. We know how to get it running.
Is that so? Does the Enclave know this?
No, I don't think... I don't know. I just don't know what's happening anymore.
All right, Madison, it'll be okay. Now, this is James's son, I presume? I can see the resemblance.
Yes. He knows what we need. Vault-Tec computer, something to locate equipment. Please help him.
Very well, we'll sort this all out.
I need to rest, lie down or something. This is just too much. Rothschild should help you, but don't forget that he's Brotherhood. I've never trusted them. Be careful what you tell them.
Hail.
Finalmente conseguimos fugir do Projeto Purity, chegar a salvo na Cidadela da Irmandade do Aço. Aqui o Dr. Lee pode descansar e pensar em como resolver o problema do Enclave. Enquanto isso, nós podemos falar com Rothschild, como ela mencionou. Mas, segundo ela, devemos ter cuidado ao confiar na Irmandade. A base, chamada Cidadela, é uma enorme área murada e foi construída sobre as ruínas do Pentágono. E é uma base um pouco labiríntica, composta pelo anel A e B. Na entrada do anel A, encontramos o ancião Lyons, que falava há pouco com a doutora Lee.
You honor us with your presence here. You have my condolences. Your father was a good man.
O que sabe sobre o Enclave?
More than anyone else, I dare say. Certainly enough to know they're the greatest threat the capital wasteland has ever faced. The Brotherhood of Steel has encountered the Enclave before, you see. Over 30 years ago, back in California. Then they were led by a President Richardson. Now we've got this Eden to contend with. It matters not now. As before, they seek to control and destroy. All in the guise of restoring order. Your father, I fear, was just the beginning.
O que Lyons menciona foi a nossa aventura em Fallout 2 contra o Enclave. Fazem 30 anos que tudo aquilo aconteceu nesse mundo. Gostaria de saber mais sobre a Irmandade do Aço.
The Brotherhood is an old organization going back to the years just after the war. We are but a part of it. What would you like to know?
Por que você está aqui na capital Westlands?
Ah, no. That's the real question, isn't it? Our orders were, and are, to acquire any and all advanced technology. And we have, to the best of our abilities. But when I realized the extent of the super mutant threat, I felt it was my responsibility to aid the people in their struggle against them. Unfortunately, my superiors back west disagree with my assessment of the situation. They feel I've grown too attached to the local populace. And they're right. In any event, the Enclave's arrival changes everything.
Se você é apenas membro da Irmandade, onde estão os outros?
The Brotherhood began on the West Coast. It exists there still. We were dispatched to this location many years ago. In truth, the Brotherhood of Steel has been struggling for years, both here and back home. Honor, truth, courage. These virtues seem to have little meaning in these troubled times, I'm afraid.
Há quanto tempo está aqui?
It's been over 20 years since we arrived, and we've been struggling to contain and eradicate the super mutants for nearly as long. With the arrival of the Enclave, I have a terrible feeling the super mutants are the least of our worries.
É tudo que eu queria saber.
So be it.
Alguma coisa que possa me dizer sobre os supermutantes?
Would you believe no? It's pathetic, really, considering we've been fighting those abominations for nearly 20 years. In all that time, all we've managed to do is to contain the threat, hold them back so they don't overrun every blasted settlement out here. But we don't really know anything. Where they're from, why they've infested the DC ruins. And now here we are, holed up in our citadel, low on resources, low on troops. It's enough to make an old man so very tired.
E aproveitando que estamos falando com o ancião, acho que finalmente chegou a nossa hora. Você poderia conceder-me a permissão para receber treinamento em Power Armor?
Considering the circumstances, I think it would be prudent if you received such training, yes. Speak to Gunny in the Bailey. He will train you in the proper use of power armor. Fear not, I will send word that I have given my approval. You'll find him in the Bailey. I will send word that I've given my approval.
Eu encontrei uma identificação holográfica da Irmandade. O que devo fazer com ela?
Talk to Scribe Jameson. She is our keeper of the scrolls. She will want to know what you have found.
Onde posso encontrar a escrivã Jameson?
She spends most of her time in the archives. You'll find them in A-Ring, near the Great Hall.
Tenho que ir agora.
Hail.
Ok, aprendemos um pouco sobre a Irmandade. E descendo pelo anel A, encontramos um rosto familiar. Sentinela Lyons.
You just managed to get yourself into all sorts of trouble, don't you? Welcome to the Citadel. Not many civilians get to see the place.
Vocês devem lembrar que ela nos ajudou a passar pelos supermutantes perto da antena da Radio Galaxy. E agora, encontramos ela aqui. Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
I've read the reports, seen the initial scans, but I can hardly believe it. I figured those radio transmissions were just old recordings. Never figured the Enclave would actually show up, in the flesh. But don't worry. Whatever they try, we'll be ready for it. I'll lead the Pride to knock them out tomorrow, if my father permits it.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
You've seen them, so you know what we know. What more is there to say? If we can figure out where they're coming from, we might be able to stop them. If not...
O que você pode me dizer sobre o Esquadrão Lion?
It's the best of the Brotherhood, bar none. No one gets in without my say-so.
Eu tenho que ir agora.
In my father's name, I bid you farewell.
Enquanto andávamos pela base, ouvimos a conversa de alguns soldados da Irmandade. Parece que todos estão preocupados com o recente aparecimento do Enclave.
Welcome. Let's talk about this some more later, okay? I have a decent tactical plan I can run by you. Sure.
Depois disso, encontramos o escrivão Bodmit.
Oh yes, hello, I've heard about you. We don't get many strangers here in the Citadel, especially those who walk about unescorted. I am Scribe Bowditch. If you require something, simply ask.
O que os escrivães fazem?
Why, a great many things. There are 3 orders within the scribes, you see, each dedicated to a different field of study.
Poderia me nomear as ordens?
Of course, there's the Order of the Sword, Order of the Shield, and Order of the Quill. The Order of the Sword develops and maintains the Brotherhood's weapons. The Order of the Shield does the same for our power armor and defenses. The Order of the Quill is responsible for recovering and preserving knowledge. ancient and otherwise.
A que ordem você serve, escudeiro Baldwin?
I am Proctor of the Order of the Shield. I oversee the others in my order and make sure our defenses are up to snuff. Do you know how long it took to fortify these ruins? From the husk of the Pentagon, I carved a grand citadel. No easy task, my friend. Ah, but that was yesterday, when all we had to worry about was those damn super mutants. The Enclave. Now, that's a different problem altogether.
Isso é tudo o que eu precisava.
Very well.
Então, alguma ideia sobre o Enclave?
They're sporting some pretty impressive power armor, I'll give them that. The advanced Mark II. But that's all right. With a few modifications, our own armor will more than handle anything they throw at it.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
They're relentless, like nothing I've ever seen before. I honestly think they see our brothers in power armor as some kind of canned meal. Some of the pieces we've had brought back, men and women ripped in half, some pulled through their armor. Just horrible.
Pode me falar sobre a Irmandade do Aço?
Oh, yes, I can. In fact, I suspect I could write several texts on the various details of the Brotherhood. But I suspect you're in a hurry, so what particulars would you like to know?
Quais as principais crenças da Irmandade?
I'm afraid the answer to that is a lot more nuanced than others might suggest. Brotherhood members are sworn to acquire and protect technology of the past, but not everyone interprets these oaths in the same way. Elder Lyons sees these duties as part of a larger dedication to protect the innocent. Some, like the outcasts, disagree with these priorities.
Me fale sobre os desertores.
It's a rather sad story, I'm afraid. Last year, some of our soldiers had grave disagreements with the decisions of Elder Lyons. Disagreements spiraled out of control and there was a schism in the ranks. The loyal soldiers practically threw out the dissenters. Now they call themselves the outcasts.
Que tipo de discordância eles têm?
Where Elder Lyons has fought to protect the people of the capital wasteland, the outcasts demanded we move on and leave them to their fates. They insisted there was more important technology to be recovered in a scientific base in the ruins of Fort Independence to the west. As callous as their decision may be, it's more in line with our original mission. Elder Lyons is an inspiration to us, but to them, he's a traitor.
Quem eram os desertores?
The soldiers rallied behind Paladin Kasdan, who was one of Elder Lyons' original squad. They served together for over 20 years. Kasdan was well respected and every bit as loyal to the Brotherhood as Elder Lyons. He just disagreed with the interpretations of our oaths. But when disagreements turned into fistfights, he left with the outcasts. We lost more allies that day than we ever have to any battle.
Parece ter sido uma grande perda. Há alguma forma de reconciliá-los?
Lyons and Kasdan would have to agree to any sort of reconciliation, and that's pretty unlikely. They're both quite proud and stubborn. Me, I just wish there was a way we could all agree that at least we're still on the same side. There are bigger problems out there after all.
Se tantas pessoas concordam com ele, talvez ele tenha razão.
That's the thing, really. Kasdan's technology-first sort of attitude is more traditional in the Brotherhood that always used to operate out west. But somewhere along the way, from there to here, Elder Lyons made sure we watched out for the people, not just the technology. To some of us, that was noble. I guess to Kasdan and his crew, it was just soft. I wish they could see some sort of middle ground.
O que estão fazendo enquanto a eles?
As much as some of our soldiers would like to see them shot for deserting, there's not much we can do. We're too busy with the super mutants. Meanwhile, they're busy seeking out new technology and trying to get back in contact with the Brotherhood out west. So our paths rarely cross, but it's never pretty when they do. I just hope things cool down before it gets worse.
Chega sobre os desertores.
It is a rather discouraging subject, isn't it?
Você pode consertar meu equipamento?
I suppose that I can. The Brotherhood can make use of wasteland currency to trade.
Mas a habilidade de Bodget é pequena e grande. Ela não adianta muito para nosso equipamento atualmente. A gente pode consertar até 50% deles, da condição deles com ele. E eu não tenho dinheiro para isso e nem tempo para isso agora. Tenho que ir agora.
Back to work.
Assim aprendemos um pouco mais sobre a Irmandade. Boa parte nós já sabíamos dos outros jogos da série. No primeiro é bem claro o objetivo da Irmandade em coletar tecnologia. No segundo eles não têm tanto destaque. E aqui temos agora essa nova célula, por assim dizer. E de um desenvolvimento externo temos os desertores, que são aqueles soldados com a armadura parecida com a da Irmandade, só que vermelha. Encontramos agora o Cavaleiro Artemis.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
Você deve ver muitas coisas que têm acontecido.
What's been going on? Well, let's see. For years, we've been draining our resources defending the ungrateful residents of this no-man's land. Most of my best friends have either been ripped apart by super mutants or left to join the outcasts. And now an enemy we faced more than 30 years ago has resurfaced, and their tech is still better than ours. What's been going on with you?
Foi uma pergunta idiota. Pode me descrever o sistema da Cidadela?
You are currently in A Ring. Here you will find the Great Hall, the Lion's Den, and the Archives. Beyond this area is B Ring, quarters for the Knights, Scribes, and Elder Lions. Outside in the Bailey are the training areas and access to the Initiates Barracks. Other than that, down those steps is the lab. Be careful around there, the Scribes are touchy about who goes near their toys.
Vocês têm médico?
You could say that. We have an old robo-doc. He's a bit creepy, but he does the job. You'll find him in B Ring.
Preciso de alguns suprimentos. Com quem posso ver sobre isso?
Well, any one of us would see Knight Captain Durga down in the lab, but since you're an outsider, you'll need permission from Elder Lions.
Isso é tudo que eu precisava saber.
Very well.
Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
As if we didn't have enough to worry about. Their weapons are better. Their power armor is better. Is their training better? We'll see.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
You know how many uglies I've killed? More than all of Lion's pride combined. That's how many. All it takes is a loaded weapon and the will to use it. Oh, and a good way to get ugly blood out of your armor. Little bit of Abraxo and some water. Works like a charm.
Tenho que ir agora.
Steel be with you.
Pouca coisa nova. E é assim com boa parte dos habitantes aqui. As conversas não chegam a ser as mesmas, mas são bem parecidas. Por exemplo, falando com o integrante do Esquadrão Lion, falamos com o Paladino Glade.
Glad to see you and that egghead Lee made it here in one piece. I heard what happened to that purifier. Hell of a thing.
Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
Man, I don't know. Fighting uglies is one thing, but we've never gone up against anyone that well trained or organized. Even their tech is better. Don't get me wrong, the pride's in it to win it. And I'll go down shooting if I have to. I just hope I don't have to.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
Man, nothing dies like an ugly. I once saw Colvin snipe the leg off one at 200 yards. Thing pirouetted like a figure skater.
O que pode me dizer sobre o Esquadrão Lion?
You, my friend, are talking about the most elite fighting force ever assembled within the Brotherhood of Steel. Each of us was handpicked by Sentinel Alliance herself. You can't even realize what an honor that is. Sarah defines combat excellence.
Então, qual a sua ocupação no Esquadrão Lion?
Me? Heavy weapons, miniguns, missile launchers. If it's bigger than a human and goes boom, I'm all over it.
Tenho que ir agora.
Of course.
Falamos com o Paladino Kodiak.
Hail. Name's Greg. Greg Bear. Most of the guys just call me Kodiak. Heard about that mess over at the Purifier. Don't you worry. You're safe here.
Como veio parar na Irmandade?
Now that's a story. The only reason I'm here is because of Elder Lions. You see, I grew up in the pit. Don't suppose you ever been there, huh? It's about 500 clicks to the northwest. Place is a nightmare. 3 irradiated rivers coming together. People there were not well. But the Brotherhood of Steel came down on the place with a righteous hammer. They called it the Scourge.
O que foi o massacre?
It was a Brotherhood operation. They marched in and swept the place clean. Most of the people there were half-mutated, cancerous, vile things. And these people, rape gangs, torture squads, It was pure chaos there. The Scourge is the best thing that could have happened to it. This was way back, before the Citadel was fortified. Part of the early recon after the Brotherhood first arrived in this area. One night, a squad of brothers led by Paladin Lions swept into the city from over Mount Wash, tearing apart anyone who stood against them. They were completely outnumbered, and still they razed that place to the ground.
O que os faz tão terríveis?
The rivers. Even after the war, they were still flowing, but irradiated and filled with God knows what else. I saw things there I can't even begin to describe. I was only, 8 years old when I left? Hell of a thing for a kid to go through.
O que aconteceu com seus pais?
Hell if I know. I never knew them. I lived on the street and fought with rats for food.
O que aconteceu com as outras crianças de Pittsburgh?
All of them became initiates. Most of them went on to become brothers. A lot fell in action. I'm the only survivor of the Scourge of the Pit, still stationed at the Citadel.
Isso é terrível. Como a Irmandade pode fazer isso?
Normally, that would get you a crack across the jaw. But since you didn't know what the pit was like, I let it go. I still have nightmares about the place. 30 years and how many horrors later, and the pit is still the worst thing I've ever seen. It was ugly work, sure. Questionably moral? No doubt. But there was no other choice. That city had to go.
Como conseguiu escapar?
As they swept through, the Brotherhood policed up every non-muty child they could find. Turns out there weren't that many. Me and maybe 20 others. The younger we were, the less of a chance that we were mutated. It was ugly work, no doubt, but it had to be done. I'll never forget the sight of the Brotherhood of Steel breaching the breast of the mountain at dawn.
Como acabou voltando aqui?
Elder Lyons brought us all back to the Citadel. He said it was the safest place he knew of. This place was still being converted. He put us in as initiates and kept a watchful eye over us. He was tough, but he taught us to stay alive. The man's like a father to me.
Isso é incrível, Kojak.
Nah. The amazing thing is Elder Lyons. He risked everything. Went in outmanned and outgunned. I'll never be able to thank him enough. So I do my best to serve the Brotherhood. I know that's what he really wants. In time, I'm sure you'll understand.
Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
There's meat under that armor, and meat can be ground.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
Hell, I've killed more of those yellow Frankensteins than any other member of the Pride. Except maybe Gallows, those crazy solo night ops of his.
Qual a sua especialização em combate no Esquadrão Lions?
Hell, I do it all. Recon, demolition, tactical assault. Guess you could say I'm the Pride's jack of all trades.
Tenho que ir agora.
Never back down.
Falamos então com a Capitã Dusk.
Hail to you, stranger. I am Knight Captain Dusk, in service of Steel. If you require anything, simply ask.
Qual a sua versão da história?
My story? I blow the head off anything more than 200 meters downrange. I'm the best shot in the Brotherhood of Steel, bar none. Not even Colvin can match my kill count. That's my story.
Quer dizer, você era. Agora eu estou aqui.
Hey, wasteland humor. I like that. Got any more, funny man?
Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
Honestly, I can't wait to see if one of those helmets can stop a hollow point round at 100 yards. I'm thinking, not.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
I can tell you that those heavily armored ones, the Masters, they favor heavy weapons. Miniguns and missile launchers. My recommendation? Headshot from a distance. Avoid the meat grinder.
O que você pode me dizer sobre o Esquadrão Lion?
We're the most elite tactical unit ever assembled in the Brotherhood of Steel. Here or anywhere else. Hell, ain't nothing Sarah's Cubs can't handle.
O que você faz aqui?
I'm a sniper with the Pride. Put any muty bastard within 1 mile of me and my rifle, and, well, pack it up, troops. Fight's over. Colvin thinks he's a better shot. Man's delusional.
Tenho que ir agora.
Stick to the shadows.
E por fim, o Capitão Gallows.
Yes? I'm glad that we understand one another.
E conversa empolgante. Mas depois disso podemos voltar e falar com Galo.
What?
Qual a sua especialidade no esquadrão?
Spec Ops. Let's leave it at that.
O que pode me dizer sobre o esquadrão de Lions?
Sarah appreciates my methods. I fill a role no one else can.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
Shoot them, they die. Stab them, they die. Strangle them, they die.
Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
They're men. They're born, they live, they die. End of story.
Tenho que ir agora.
And so we part.
Eu gosto do estilo desse cara. E assim conhecemos os integrantes do Esquadrão Lion. O anel A tem acesso ao jardim, de onde viemos, e ao laboratório, assim como o anel B. Então, vamos primeiro ao laboratório. E aqui encontramos o escrivão Peabody.
The elders sent word of your arrival. I am Scribe Peabody. Welcome, etc. Now, I'm really very busy. Is there something you needed?
Pode me contar algo sobre os escrivães?
Indeed I can. Pay no heed to those headstrong knights with their pop guns and bravado. It is the scribes who make the Brotherhood what it truly is. The brawn is useless without the brain. Each order of scribes is dedicated to a unique field, all equally important, all more important than those dim-witted grunts.
Deixa eu adivinhar, você pertence à ordem do...
Sword, of course. Weapons, my boy. You name it, I've helped someone kill it. I'm the proctor of the Order of the Sword, you see. Weapons research, development, and maintenance, all my responsibility.
Isso é tudo que eu precisava.
Let me know if you need something else.
Eu tenho algumas perguntas sobre a Irmandade.
You want to talk to Scribe Jameson. She's the archivist, not me.
Tudo bem, então. Então, alguma ideia sobre Enclave?
So they have plasma weapons. Bah. It's strong technology, I'll give you that, but limited in modability. I've already started removing the compensators on our laser weapons to cut through the black devil power armor of theirs. We'll drop them like any other meat, don't you worry.
Quer compartilhar algo sobre os supermutantes?
Foul, detestable beasts. They're like an infestation. We cut them down and they return again and again. Always so determined to kill or capture. But why?
Você acha que pode consertar o meu equipamento?
Ha! With my eyes closed. And I will too. But it will cost you, outsider.
Ele tem a mesma condição de reparar que Bodwich. Então pode ser útil, mas estão sem dinheiro para isso de qualquer forma. Eu tenho que ir agora.
Until next time.
Continuando a explorar o laboratório, até que encontro o escrivão Rothschild.
May I start by saying that I am sorry for your loss. I was acquainted with your father many years ago. The world has lost one of its few remaining visionaries.
Obrigado pela sua compreensão.
Think nothing of it. Now, Dr. Lee has explained your predicament. You need to locate some Vault-Tec equipment?
Meu pai estava procurando alguma coisa chamada GEC. Por acaso você tem um?
A GEC? Goodness no, certainly not. I must say that there are some who doubt such a device really exists, let alone works. If, however, you share your father's determination, I may be able to assist you in locating one.
Então você sabe como conseguir um?
Possibly. I'm afraid I won't be able to assist you directly. The news Dr. Lee has brought will require me to be elsewhere. I can, however, give you access to an old pre-war computer from Vault-Tec. It may have the information you need.
You'll find the terminal in the archives in the A-Ring.
Obrigado pela ajuda.
You are welcome. If you require further assistance, I may be able to help.
Então a Irmandade tem um computador com acesso às informações dos abrigos. Talvez tenhamos chance de continuar o projeto de James, mas precisamos primeiro achar o Gek. Mas continuo vasculhando o laboratório e encontro um terminal. Nele encontramos informações sobre o projeto Liberty Prime, um robô de batalha gigante da época de antes da guerra. O objetivo do projeto era libertar Anchorage, certamente uma arma terrível, mas ela não funciona. Quer dizer, funcionaria se tivesse uma fonte de energia poderosa o suficiente para isso. E desde então, o projeto foi abandonado aqui no antigo Pentágono desde então. Quer dizer, eu acho isso. Eu não imagino outro jeito da Irmandade ter trazido esse robô gigante para cá, sei lá, peça por peça. Ainda vendo os documentos no terminal de Rothschild, percebemos que ele tem dedicado há bastante tempo a fazer o robô gigante funcionar. E até que tem feito progressos, mas nada efetivo ainda. Também descobrimos que parece que o próprio robô tem impedido o avanço de Rothschild, impedindo que a energia do sistema de armas seja redirecionada. Um resquício da IA, talvez. Rothschild também tentou usar a fusão de vetor acelerado da Dra. Lee para alimentar o robô. Não deu certo e quase matou o Bodwit e o ancião. E isso é tudo que temos sobre esse gigante até o momento. Assim, ele fala. Ainda explorando o laboratório, encontramos uma fita holográfica sobre o androide de Zimmer. Enquanto estava fuçando os arquivos da Irmandade, vejo a Dra. Lee e os auxiliares descendo até os laboratórios, seguidos por Lions.
What's this I hear about power consumption actually increasing? We both know that's not an option.
Yes. And I told you that in order to compensate for last Thursday's mishap, there would be some complications. I'm dealing with it.
I come to you for results, not excuses, Rothschild. That robot could mean the difference between victory or defeat against the Enclave.
All right, all right. I'll see what I can do.
Então a ideia é usar o robô para lutar contra o Enclave? Será que é possível?